Hello students, today we'll learn about the properties of lubricants. In case of sliding contact bearings, this lubricant is very important, so we must know the properties of lubricants. So we discuss one by one. First property is viscosity. It is the measure of degree of fluidity of a liquid. It is a physical property by virtue of which an oil is able to form, retain, and offer resistance to shearing a buffer film under heat and pressure. Means it affects due to heat and pressure. The greater the heat and pressure, the greater viscosity is required of a lubricant to prevent thinning the film. Means uh, viscosity we required more if the heat and pressure is greater. Now if we see the meaning of viscosity, for that purpose we refer this diagram. So consider a flat plate moving a force P parallel to the stationary plate. Means here this plate is stationary and this plate is moving plate. Here we apply the P force, and in between these two plates here we provide the lubricant. This H is the distance between moving plate and stationary plate. Now two plates being separated by thin film of a fluid lubricant of thickness H. We already discussed this. The particles of the lubricant adhere strongly to the moving and stationary plates. The motion is accompanied by a linear slip or shear between the particles throughout the entire height h of the film thickness. If A is the area of the plate in contact with the lubricant, then the unit shear stress is given by tau is equal to P upon A. In this case, here we consider, if we consider shear stress at this location, then here we consider P as the force, and the area of contact, that is the where the lubricant is in contact with this plate, that area we consider. According to the Newton's law of viscous flow, the magnitude of this shear stress varies directly with the velocity gradient, that is dV by dy. That is, when we move, that is in y direction, then velocity gets changes. It is assumed that a part is that the lubricant completely fills the space between the two surfaces. Means in this diagram, at every moment the lubricant is present in between these two plates. B portion is the velocity of lubricant at each surface is same as that of the surface. And C is any flow of lubricant perpendicular to the velocity of the plate is negligible. So so in this direction, that is perpendicular to this plate, in this direction they neglect the velocity. Now if we consider the shear stress equation, so shear stress tau is equal to force upon area, and which is directly proportional to velocity gradient, that is dV by dy. So tau is equal to P upon A is equal to Z into dV by dy. So here we take Z as the constant term, we give this is equation number A, and here this Z is nothing but constant of proportionality and is known as absolute viscosity. This is very important term. The Z is called as absolute viscosity, or simply viscosity of the lubricant. When the thickness of the fluid lubricant is small, which is the case for bearings, then the velocity gradient is very nearly constant. So in place of dV by dy, we substitute this V upon y. but we know that y, that is vertical distance, in our case this y distance is nothing but h. This is equation number B. Now we substitute this equation B in equation number A, so our equation becomes tau is equal to z into V upon h. But we want the equation for absolute viscosity, so z is equal to tau into h divided by V. If we see the unit of this z, then tau is the shear stress, which is measured in Newton per meter square, h is in meter, V is the meters per second, that is velocity. So if we substitute all these units on right side, so z is equal to we get finally kilogram per meter second. The viscosity of the lubricant is measured by Sebault universal viscometer. This viscometer is used for measuring the viscosity. It determines the time required for a standard volume of oil at a certain temperature to flow under a certain head through a tube of standard diameter and length. The time so determined in seconds is the Sebault universal viscosity. Converting the Sebault universal viscosity in seconds to absolute viscosity in kilogram per meter second, use the following equation. So in this case, Z is equal to specific gravity of oil into bracket 0.000225 minus 0.18 upon S. This is in kilogram per meter second. And we already discussed this Z and S term. Z is called as absolute viscosity of at temperature T, and S is Sebault universal viscosity in seconds. So if we use the viscometer, that is Sebault universal, if we use the Sebault universal viscometer for measuring the viscosity, then we get that in terms of time. If we see the second property, that is oiliness, it is a joint property of a lubricant and the bearing surfaces in contact. It is a measure of the lubricating qualities under boundary conditions where base metal to metal is prevented only by absorbed film. There is no absolute measure of oiliness. If we see the next property, this property is called as density. This property has no relation to lubricating value but is useful in changing the kinematic viscosity to absolute viscosity. Means if we want absolute viscosity and if we have the value of kinematic viscosity, then you just multiply it with density, then we get the value in absolute viscosity. That is, absolute viscosity is equal to density into kinematic viscosity, where rho is density of lubricating oil. If we consider the density of most of the oil at 15.5 degrees Celsius varies from 860 kg per meter cube to 950 kg per meter cube. The average value of may be taken as 900 kg per meter cube. The density at any other temperature, that is T, may be obtained from the following relation, that is rho of T is equal to rho of 15.5 minus 0.000 into 0.000657 into T, where rho of 15.5 that is, we consider here 15.5 degrees Celsius, so rho of 15.5 is equal to density of oil at 15.5 degrees Celsius. And if we want to calculate the density at any temperature, you just substitute that temperature here and we get the density at that respected temperature. Next is viscosity index. The term viscosity index is used to denote the degree of variation of viscosity with temperature. This is called as viscosity index. Next is flash point. It is the lowest temperature at which an oil gives off sufficient vapor to support a momentary flash without actually setting a fire to the oil when a flame is brought within 6 mm at the surface of the oil. And this is called as flash point. Next property is fire point. It is the temperature at which an oil gives off sufficient vapor to burn it continuously when ignited. This is fire point. Last property is pour point or freezing point. It is the temperature at which an oil will cease to flow when cooled. So in this way we discuss the different properties, that is viscosity, then oiliness, density, viscosity index, flash point, fire point, pour point or freezing point. So here we stop our lecture. Thank you.